Yeah, we looked at your mic still out.
Alrighty. It only took me a minute. I was charging my mic. I didn't want it to, be dead.
You're good. They came out with the
So
four,
we're looking at
four pick.
yeah, yeah. So make sure your audio is included right off the bat.
Yeah, it is. It's already is.
So we're looking at a week one opening season of the CGSL. We're gonna have high energy only versus team. That is their team name. It's not just a random team. Their team name is team.
We're the team
Notice
among
I say
teams.
team in one sentence. Yeah, the team of teams. And my guest caster, Lucky Charms, here is actually from Team, nonetheless. It should be an interesting overall set. It's a two-game set. I know a lot of people want a best of three, but just for time constraints, because 2 games is already pushing about an hour and a half, give or take. Um, yeah, so we're just going to go with 2 game sets, see how the season goes. Looking at about 14-0 record. I think it's a perfect record. Uh, I believe that's right. I could be off by a week or two, but I believe it's a 14 game record. All games will count towards your record. So just because you win one doesn't mean you control the other. Especially if you know that you're better than the team, you gotta win every single game pretty much. That's what you're looking to do.
That's what we were talking about earlier too. That we actually have to win.
Yeah,
You actually have to win a game unless you're gonna end up with splits if you're not off on the game. Which can
yeah.
affect the record slightly. It won't be anything drastic, but it will affect the record slightly, especially if let's say a middle of the pack team is trying to move up a spot maybe for to host a game or whatever it may be. Like in actual real sports
for
terms.
seeding, yeah,
Yeah, for seeding aspect, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be rather interesting to see, because it'll lead to a lot of what's the word I'm looking for here? Splits, I guess, or tiebreakers,
Yeah.
essentially, where stuff like that can come down.
I'm actually surprised they let the Yarmungandr get all the way through. They banned the Achilles because if you ban Yarmungandr out, you basically gain free pressure with Achilles. Now Yarm's gonna have a free lane, do whatever he wants.
Now, it'll be interesting. I think with it being week one, we might see some, I guess, mistakes, so to speak, or some questionable decisions being made as people try to figure out what their approach or comp is going to be.
Yeah, I think this is the second time I want to say. I might be wrong, but it's probably the second time HEO's played with King of Grim, like as a team. Like as the team aspect of it, because he's usually scrimming with his other team, outside team. Yesterday
Yeah,
was the first
so
time I saw him, at least. First time I saw.
yeah, I don't know if he's actually played with them or not. I know they've been scrimming fairly often. I know they scrimmed office party fairly often, so it's a familiar opponent for both teams last night. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't believe these two teams have scrimmed at all. I don't know if you guys have scrimmed with them
Um,
or not.
no, not a recent. The old
Yeah,
AGO
so
did, but not this one.
it should definitely be interesting seeing everybody getting a first look at each other, especially on the season, nonetheless.
I wonder if this Thor is gonna go into the jungle. They might throw it into solo. They basically banned out Renown's God Pull, so they might be forcing the Thor to go into the jungle.
Interesting.
Follow ADC. And quite a bit of global pressure.
I knew it. I was just about to say it. I'm like, I don't know, man. The King Arthur is still sitting there. They might try something a little crazy here.
They have nothing to stop the King Arthur, so he'll be able to freely spin around and do his thing. It's actually a safe pick here. I don't really like the X Ball pick because they don't really have anything that's other than Thor. I mean, if they're on key with it with the X Ball Thor going up and landing on someone, it'll be pretty difficult for them. I'm pretty sure Darkness doesn't stop Horizontal, so if he goes up when X Ball ults, he'll just be little black clouds.
I did not know that. The most I know about Horus is that it is invisible, I believe, when he's actually in the air.
Yep. He stays
Yeah,
down on
so
the ground.
that's
Like his
crucial.
physical body stays on the ground.
That's crucial
Anyway,
for our objective steals. Not knowing anybody's coming. Oh, Willix, interesting.
we're gonna go for the cheese. I'm gonna knock up into the
Gosh,
Wheelix pool.
Merlin, yeah. A lot of this is pretty standard as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not really sure who has the pressure aspect on the 1v1 for Poyo. This Kono.
Well, just judging by how last night went for Kano, I'm gonna give it to Poya. Kano had a little bit
I'll
of a
give it to
rough
Poyo
night
just
dealing with.
mechanically and as an ADC person, a player that plays ADC, I'd give it to him. Kono, I think, is a solo laner, playing more off role right now.
Yeah, and like I said, last night's beating from Bloodspit was a little rough. Probably a little shaken up. I think he's just a little uncomfortable in the role still.
Maybe,
So,
but Jingwei
he,
into Medusa is not a favorable matchup as it is, just
true
because Medusa
that.
is ability based. I think any team that's smart, like if we go off topic, any team that's smart that plays um, off his team, they'll just ban Medusa and force him to play something else. He has yet to play anything other than Medusa.
The long await here now to get into the actual lobby.
It
It's
will be
so
pretty
much fun.
difficult to siege on HEO just because of the cuckoo. He can safely throw tornadoes out if it comes down to the point of sieging.
I don't know.
A lot of burst
I guess
potential
Siege
from the
slightly
team.
goes to blue team, but
Yeah.
overall, I think red team's gonna have more pressure on the game.
Definitely, they'll have the early game pressure. Depending on if Forest actually invades or waits to find out. All we can do is wait. I would like to see the Horus, at least, if he's not going to invade the speed buffs, sit around the corner in mid and wait for the Cuckoo to step up to go throw a tornado wave and dash him and stun him. Because then Merlin has two abilities, he'll be able to poke him out pretty hard and get a free red after that. So it's interesting to see how he's going to do the start.
Alrighty, and we are actually getting into the game now after that little bit of an awkward silence. Uh, Gonna get a bit of a look to see who all's where now.
That's an upbeat are flexing on their borders. Yeah, it's on spectator aspect. If you sit on the blue team, you get the better angle. Like you really don't go to the red team unless you're like absolutely needed to. If blue's all at base and they're taking fire,
Let's see these builds now. Everything's about what I would expect, to be honest. The Merlin going tier 2 boots, I don't know about that.
And the tier 2 boots into the Doom Orb.
Ah.
It's a meta build right now for mid. I think Cuckoo's really the only one that's ever going to stack. Apparently.
I haven't seen Doom Orb since I didn't even know it's got patched, so that's news to me.
Yeah, it's been going on for about like a month and a half now. The last couple weeks of Pro League and then placements and then the Worlds. Gaming's looking to invade right now. He's got spotted out. If Gaming's smart, he'll just walk to mid. He's going to continue going because I don't think he can actually out-secure. So he's going to get no farm. Actually, now he's delaying him. He's going to delay him long enough where Thor is going to probably lose some XP. If he just keeps annoying him. And he stole it.
Over in dueling.
Nope, he didn't steal it. He didn't get anything out of it.
So this whole support meta is, I just find so I don't know, off-putting, I guess. Yeah.
A little awkward. I'd say if the support doesn't steal the speed, and you're stuck at this moment where gaming's getting 0 XP per minute, he's just wandering the map aimlessly trying to find farm. It's like a good and bad, but it should end up where like they'll be able to pressure out the blue buff, which they're currently doing. And they failed on it. Yeah, so gaming's still at 0 XP. Now I'm showing how much he doesn't like it. Bam something away after he secured the blue. Everyone's Sunder too. So they're gonna look, from one looks of it, team's gonna actually look for stun to the Sunder with maybe Maryland follow up.
I'm interested to see how these Cuckoo ults come out in some of these fights. I think it's a little risky.
And if he waits for setup with the Jing Chen route, it should be fine. He's freelancing it. Might be a little bit more difficult. With the darkness, if we add in the darkness, they might not know it's coming too. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out a little bit later.
Yeah, and see, I just seeing this horse getting like I guess boxed out is the term I'm gonna use here from some of these invades. It just feels like a big waste of time on him on Gaming Fan just right now. He's just kind of aimlessly wandering, not really able to get the pressure he wants. Big yikes.
The issue with it is that he didn't get any XP. Like he didn't successfully invade. And he didn't find farm for a minute and a half.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're just wandering.
So they'll pressure out this blue buff. That's the reason why he went tier 2 boots though, because he knew he wasn't going to get any farm. So they'll pressure out the blue buff, and King Arthur needs blue. Which will just keep applying pressure on the solo side of the map. This is what they should do.
Over in dual lane, fairly quiet right now.
Just farming away. Nothing extraordinary happening right now.
Actually, a little surprised. I was expecting a little spice from Kano and Poyo.
I think Kano's... Poyo got boots. Let's see what's Kano's build. Kano has a taxi boots. Poyo might try to pressure him right here, but I think they're both probably waiting until they either have trans or divas. They say that's doing a pick in mid. And they traded out.
Yeah, Renown's actually gonna get the double.
Yep.
That was painful.
And Kano's actually barely gonna survive his encounter.
Does that Paul have dash? No.
And on the other end of the map, maybe somebody's gonna come
Apollo.
back to hunt
Oh,
Renown.
they got the beads out of Apollo. They're all down. We got beads out of Apollo. They'll be over there in the next minute and a half. Apollo actually probably can take this trade. He's healing up, so he had pots. We get the solo kill. No, he doesn't. A little help. They're pressuring out the blue again.
It's been a fairly methodical first, we'll say about
Very
5 minutes of the game.
Very slow pace. Team has definitely
Which
been.
is a...
Their game plan going in was probably to stop the King Arthur. So to keep pressuring the blue side out, make the King Arthur fall behind as best as possible. Nothing's worse is when a King Arthur's a raid boss.
Yeah, nothing's worse than when anybody in this game is a raid boss, it seems.
How many wards placed out on the map? Blue has more ward control. It seems like, but it's more on the solo side of the map. A blink into the tornado.
The one thing I do like about this whole like new meta with support is the 3v3s we're seeing so much more often at mid. I think it's a little bit more entertaining than some of the stuff we've seen in the past.
Yeah, they're more built to have a high 3v3 fight. Whoever has more pressure will end up engaging more often than not. I'm actually very surprised that blue is and a little bit more passive with the Horus. I wonder if they're gonna use if they were planning to use the Horus ult for rotation kills or for objective play. Blue team's hovering around their blue buff because it's spawning in about 30 seconds. Wheelix is going in for an evade. Walks away. We definitely said that they wanted that blue buff. They're gonna have to give it up though. Unless Horus shows up. There he is.
This
Horus
is
has a
just
Thor
a
ult, X
messy
ball.
fight.
Thor ult out, X ball ulted. Or it lands. Oh, it's scattered. Oh, ends up getting a solo kill on the duo side. He's gonna extend Poyo's lead pretty hard. Godson ends up picking up the kill on the speed. Pretty sure. Yeah. Kill.
King Arthur just chasing people, man.
Actually, a good turn on him.
If I cannot survive
But
this,
yeah, he should be able to get out. I don't know if it's so hard to tell if Arthur has big ult or not. If Arthur has big ult, he can probably, yep, he did, as I say that, he's going to be able to turn it. Oyo has that tier 1 tower on the left side, pretty chunked.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much won that lane. No Disacana there, but I think
Yeah,
it's
the
a
solo kill.
slippery downhill slope at this point now.
Yeah, the solo kill gave him Devos. He's going to be able to just stack those up. Next time he has probably around 20 stacks, he's going to look to fight him again. Especially if he has wave pressure. Should be looking at red team to pull gold pretty soon. Maybe not to like burn the objective, but they should look to at least beta fight in there with the comp that they have. That's exactly what they're going to do.
The Kukulkan tornado is actually really big right here.
Forest goes up. I think we might be a little bit behind here from each other.
Yeah, we are just a tad bit, I'm pretty sure. That's why I've been trying to hold my tongue. But yeah, the Kukulkan tornado overall and some of these jungle fights is going to be really, really big.
Yep, exactly. But he needs to get some stacks. If Rapid's not careful, he's gonna die. Yep. I think he does. I think what's different for these fights with the blue team is that they actually need to wait for Thor to someone initiate and land on him, or wait for Jing right now. Because they don't have a lot of burst potential. So their fights need to draw out as long as possible for them to win fights early.
Big yikes. About 11 minutes in now. Warding cleanly in favor of blue team. What about XP? Actually kind of broken up, still slightly in favor of red team. And then over to player damage. I'd say in favor of red team as well, even though King Arthur obviously is going to be leading the game at damage. Not surprised by that.
Not sure how
We
red
got
is
a
yet. Is that red?
Coming in?
Yeah, pretty soon. 53. Red should look to fight around Pyro because relics are still down. They just came up. Actually, that's wrong. If they do look to fight within like the next like 20 seconds, they could probably pull or force out the King Arthur at least. Force his TP. Right now, the only thing that's up on the map is blue and Pyro, but that's the only thing that they should be fighting around. The red, if they're not going to go for a red invade. Blessing pick up from gaming fan as it is. He's not farming well, and it's showing while his team is ahead in respective areas. He's behind, so he needs to stop. Find farm on the map, leash some waves elsewhere.
I'm a little confused now. Was there a DC? I'm not seeing a DC.
Oh no, decent.
Oh, Kano did DC. Oh, now I see it.
But when you agree, it looks like there's a little light in the tunnel right now for HEL. If they look, I wouldn't say they need to like engage any fights right now. They just need to look for a pick. And with the way Gaming Fan is playing currently, the Horus, you find him out of place and pick him, especially since he's behind. It might not do much, but it's going to force them to be fighting 4v5s continually, and it loses the little sustain that they do receive from Horus.
Yeah, I like picking the Horus here, especially with him being so far behind. I don't know though. I think maybe you can try to abuse a Willix a little bit as well, even though she's slowly gonna be falling off. I'm kind of worried about how Poyo is gonna how big he's going to inflate in this game. That would be one of my big concerns about Bloom Team right now, because I think he's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And then, he's your raid boss.
Exactly. As we say that, this man uses Apollo to go invade a blue buff.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's what your end game bosses do. You gotta put the buffs in place.
I were to say, if I wasn't on the team and knew inside intel, their game plan from the start looks like they were going to put Grim behind. Grim is HEO's win condition, by the way they're playing, with how much pressure they're forcing on that side of the map alone. That's the way they're playing, is that's the win condition. If they take Grim out of the game, they win the game for free.
We see the attempted engagements over in dual lane now. Surrender vote has started, popped up on my screen.
Let's feel a little bit of tilt.
They're not even that far behind. I mean, about what, say 6k gold, which is a little rough, and like 7 kills, also a little rough, but only 14 minutes in. You still have the late game to play for.
Definitely, and I would say that the late game probably favors HEO more than it does team. Strictly, and I say that just because X-Ball hits like a truck late game, and then it's almost nearly impossible to siege on top of Cuckoo if you can't get to him.
And sitting at a pause at 14:15. Did not, I'm assuming that wasn't intentional to pause at 14:15.
What's happening? Why the pauses are coming up?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I wonder if it's due to party chat, like with Kano being on top on an Xbox app instead of them going in game chat or using Discord as chat. That could be the reason why they're pausing.
Yo, shout out Jay Feather for explaining low latency in the stream chat to some of our viewers. Low latency makes the delay between what we're broadcasting and you guys different. So you can just shout out to Double Cross with the sub. Yo, much love. You just made my day.
2 months sub.
Yeah, it just made my day. Big shout out. Oh, we see
Huge damage out of Merlin.
See, obviously I'm ahead, but there's fights going on everywhere. This is gonna be an interesting closeout right now. I honestly don't see
might
this
be
match.
done in 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly
25 minutes.
Genuinely what I was gonna say. I was like, I don't see this game going past 25 minutes. Like that's
Yeah,
a little extra.
Okay. And that's if team doesn't decide that they want to troll and try and kill them in Fountain.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a little risky in my opinion, just because I don't know. As long as you're sure you got the win, then I guess go ahead and kind of play around with it a little bit. But the worst feeling is always gonna be, you could have won, and then messing around or whatever, trolling, you throw the game, like heartbreaking.
Exactly. Well, we talked about it earlier, where I think the little light in the tunnel for HEO to get back in this game was to continually try and find the Horus out of place. They didn't really find him out of place. It was just an extended engagement over by speed, and they ended up killing him out of it. I think that's kind of what they have to do. Just pick up the little bounty here and there and force team to be on a 4v5 continually.
So at 16-12, I'm going to get another pause. And Kano's going to DC. Well. So technically teams are
This is
only supposed to
unfortunate.
have 3 minutes, 5 minutes on a DC, 3 minutes on a normal timeout. So I guess we'll refresh on that 5 minutes for him since he DC'd a second time. But this, if it becomes a habit, like the team's gonna be forced just to play through it at one point. I can't have a 25-minute match turn into a 45-minute match just because somebody keeps DCing. And that's a little harsh, I know. I'm sorry for that one, but it is what it is, man. Like, it is what it is. And unfortunately, Smite isn't like Rocket League, where if you have DCs, you can literally just plug in people up into the lobby, so to speak, and you just have somebody sit on standby. So you kind of are forced to play without them or take the FF. You can hear my people yelling at my dog in the background, I'm sure. I had to lock my dog out of my room, out of my life for the moment of the stream. Said she's gotten bigger, she's gotten so loud and annoying. It's been fun.
The open up chat. There's definitely frustrations coming out right now in the chats, in the community chat as it is. While the pause is going off. So earlier it was a tilted F6 coming up. Right now, it's definitely an uphill battle for HEO. An extreme uphill battle.
Yeah, that it is, and the tilt obviously isn't going to help.
If anything, it's going to clutter comms even worse.
If I'm
Especially if they're
renowned,
arguing with each other.
I'm pulling my team out of the community chat right now. I'm like, yo, guys, just everybody focus on getting in comms. It's essentially a big ass timeout for them right now. And just figure out what needs to happen. Are we gonna pull out? Are we gonna bait this objective? What's the team fights that are going on right now? What is the situation at hand? We will see if they even get out of the timeout. To be honest, without ending in an FF. The big hope.
If anything, they probably should be talking about next game, what they want to draft, what they want to do.
Yeah, that's exactly another point I was gonna say. Even if you think that this game's over right here, move on. We still got one more game to play. That's
Yeah,
that.
but I think on this one, it's probably as safe to say that it's going to be an L. It might be smart for them to actually talk about what they want to draft, what type of gameplay they want to do the next game, whether they want to have them on a higher pressure pick, maybe change up their bans a little bit. I don't think the Achilles ban was warranted. If anything, it kind of opened up the map that way to freely pick a Jormungandr.
And the pause comes undone for me, finally. None of that was supposed to rhyme. So it seems that there is some frustration. Grim wanted Yorm, they didn't get Yorm. And we don't actually know the validity to a lot of the claims and remarks going on in the community channel. It's just gossip, rumors that are floating around. So everything's supposed to be taken with a grain of salt. Just a reminder to all the viewers, we don't know. We're not in the comms, so we really don't know. It's just speculation.
Definitely, and if anything, that shouldn't even be being said in game.
Oh, for sure, yeah, I agree.
Shouldn't be saying those type of things. That's just the tilt coming out of them. Trying to find reason for why they're behind instead of trying to find a way to get back in the game.
Ooh, this might be a big catalyst for them. I think the game might end right here. So we have Red Team doing Fire Giant where I'm at, and then I've got Kana over in Dual Lane just doing his split push thing.
Splitting.
Yeah, not really much he
Gonna
can
have
do,
to
I
split
guess.
to give him farm. Give the team farm. That's really where it's at right now. Cuckoo should probably just give up this fire, just find farm elsewhere. Go get it. Go push in a mid wave, force an under tower. Go get your red buff. Try and get what little you have on the map quickly as possible. Right now he's at 67 stacks on his book at 18 minutes. So he's with tier 1 pen, so he's not going to be doing that much damage as it is. He finishes off. I don't really like Magus, but
Yeah, I think this is starting to look like a fat L. Down by about 10k gold now. 9 kills. What's the damage is actually still in favor of the King Arthur. Again, not surprised by that though. XP's almost completely in favor of red team. The only person behind is Horus. Wards.
actually Horus just took the gold lane though. Took the gold lane on him after being pretty far behind earlier. I think that's just the benefit of his team being so far ahead.
Yeah, just kind of a runaway lead at this point. Oh, big cuckoo ult though. And blue team does still have some fight left in them.
That was a great ult.
Oh my goodness, that was actually really, really big, but... Ah! Oh my goodness. Is this actually a deicide? Oh my. It is. Oh my goodness. I honestly don't know though if they're going to be able to do much off of it.
This game will definitely be going on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, they kept themselves alive with that.
Yeah. Decided to dive a little too deep.
That's exactly what we were talking about there.
What went in favor though of HEO, again, they pick Horus early in the fight on that left Phoenix siege. Wheelix stays in mid, continually pushing down the wave. I think maybe the call could have been to get Phoenix. Definitely after the Cookie showed up, she should have just left. But now they'll get some gold back in this. Probably cut the lead down to like 4k after they get this tier 2. If they kept pushing elsewhere, get the red buff, get the purple. I'm surprised they didn't go for a speed invade.
I think there's a little intimidation factor with the team coming back up. Not that blue team didn't, get that DS side, but it kind of felt like, red team gave that to them a little bit by overstaying. So they might be a little afraid of picking some fights here.
Yeah. Which is very warranted that a lot of them are a couple items behind as it is compared to the other team, even though they did DSI them.
And they are going to
drop tornado starting to come into play.
Red team's fairly low. Ooh. I don't think it's going to matter though.
They'll just end off that push, yeah.
No way. No way.
There's
I have no words for these past two sieges.
They're trolling.
I have no words. Yeah.
They're trolling. I told you this will happen with team. They'll just do it because they're ahead. They have confidence in their ability that they're not going to lose the lead that they're doing it, so you might as well try.
Very true, but you got to be careful. Like I said, I've highlighted before. Like that's where you see some teams getting over their head a little bit, playing with your food, so to speak. When people are desperate, they do a little bit more erratic things, decisions, behaviors. You might see some stuff you're not expecting when you play with your food.
Exactly. Danger Ranger Poyo is playing with Apollo, and Renown is playing with Thor.
I'm literally not even looking at my chat. Shout out to you
Just
for looking at
glancing
that.
at
Yeah. I like walked across my room, look at the TV.
This next fight, though, around this Fire Giant is actually going to be pretty big. Because the mid Phoenix is actually a little bit favorable for blue, at least, because it's easier to see where it's at. It's not the farthest away from fire.
As long
It's
as
a little
blue
bit easier for them to manage the waves.
gets their five
Defend the Fire
together
Giant.
for a solid team fight, like I think they'll be fine. They started to get momentum back on their side, so they just keep it going. I think they'll be fine. And another pause. What? Ah! The anger. The false anger. Let me see.
Yeah, because Kano's DCing. Kano's actually running into the wall. He's going to DC. Sliver of hope for them is still working out.
Yeah, poor Kano. If I'm HEO,
It's the risk you take when you play on PS4. It's the risk you take.
He's on PS4. Oh, you know what? He is, I think. I don't remember at the top of my head, but I think he is. Yikes. Get that Ethernet cable.
Gonna kill him too.
Your Titan is under attack.
This looks like it could be the end.
I don't know if they can end though. Merlin would have to get in there safely. With the King Arthur up, there's no way he's going to be able to freely just sit there and throw abilities and auto the Titan.
I am so surprised that this game has gone on to 25 minutes now.
It's due to them trolling. Instead of just ending the game quickly, it is due to them trolling at this point. And it might bite them in the butt, it might not, but we'll find out.
I think as long as they stay on track, at least like for one of these fights, then they'll be fine. But if they just keep messing around and hoping for something good to happen, then it might be a little questionable right now. Oh, this is not looking good.
Huh. Oh, Connor DC'd again. Can't get the pause off anymore either.
Your Titan is under attack.
At this point, it's like
I don't
what's
even
the
think
point?
if having Kano there.
Yeah.
I don't even think if he's there would have prevented this from happening.
I'm actually surprised they didn't end it right there on the Titan. I'm pretty sure they could have.
They should have, but they just want to keep delaying the game out longer and longer instead of just ending. I doubt it's because they're saying that the Cuckoo Tornado is going to do too much to them.
Yeah, I don't think the Cuckoo has, let me see.
Exactly, it's just...
He has no pen? Wait. Wait, no, he does. Wait, am I looking at the right... Yeah, no, he has no pen.
He has Magus.
Oh, yeah, I am blind. Oh, my goodness.
Your Titan is under attack.
This is, somehow still ends up in trades.
It's very messy. At a team. Almost looks more like a ranked game or a casual 5-man stacker at this point.
Yeah, true that. Just hurry up and end the game at this point, though.
Titan is under attack.
Oh, they got Horus. But that should be the game? There it is. Okay. And that is going to wrap up game one of this 2-game set. I don't know. Oh my goodness. So, to the unfortunate adieu, it looks like High Energy Only is going to forfeit game 2 due to internet issues with Kano.
It's unfortunate.
There's no game 2. I don't think it's a PS4 issue. He thinks it's just his internet issue. He's not sure. That is going to be rough. On the stream chat? You talking about for people posting in the chat? Yeah, that's because, not to put anybody on blast, but I'll just put him on blast. Define was in my chat just spamming 1 through like 100 in numbers. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to put slow mode on so you can not do that. In the gameplay. I'll figure it out here in a minute. Are they talking about it in chat, or are they talking about it in... Okay. Anywho, though, so that is going to wrap up the first game of week 1. It should have been 2 games, but it was only 1. Teams going to get a clean sweep here, going into 2-0 to start the season. High Energy Only starting out 0-2. One of those games being a forfeit. Does not feel good to start the season, I'm not going to lie. At the very least, you want a 1-1. You definitely don't want to go 0-2. So I should have Thursday's thoughts. What's actually funny is now we could just start Thursday's thoughts on time. But we're going to stick to the 11 o'clock time frame that we posted. That way I can have some time to not... Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'll have the stream back up I'll have the stream back up by 11, guys. That's more likely when Thursday's toss is going to be. I'm just going to stick to the time that we agreed upon earlier today. Thanks for the subscriptions. Thanks for the follows, the likes, the views. Thanks for it all. Thanks for helping me co-cast, Lucky. Everybody enjoy the rest of your night and your day. And do tune in for Thursday's Thoughts at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.